Hello, Targ, our friends. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again, it's time for another Orc Mode workout. And today was Max Effort Upper Body Day, but a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please click like down below. Help me keep the likes higher than the dislikes. But over to the training, because this is what matters. It's what we mostly do on this channel. Came in, put about 35 pounds of chains. What I've tried to do when I say the 35, I mean it should be 35 completely off the floor at the lockout. There's obviously chain still at the bottom. So when we get to the 315 on the close grip, there's obviously more than 315 at the bottom. The other day we got 335, was real close to a true max. We're coming back up. And I think we'll see today of what I've said already that look, my delts have gotten weaker. They detrained because a lot of people are like, why is your incline so weak when your overhead's so strong? And it's like my overhead drops down to 115 pounds. What are you talking about? I can't do 225 on a strict press anymore. Went through that shoulder issue. But it's largely healed, largely recovered now. There's still some stiffness and things I have to work through and a lot I have to do with it day to day. But at least I can train. And at least I can train without lancing pain or sharp pains or anything like that. And we have to continue to work the rear delts, do a little bit of extra rotator cuff, move my shoulders a lot. It is what it is. But I was happy with this lift today because, you know, we got 352 on a close grip before the injury. And I mean literally the day of the injury. You know, an hour before the injury. So we got that, and we've got to get back up to that and then pass it. And I think realistically, I think I can get 365 on a close grip. And I'm just going to stick with close gripping. I did a little bit of different grip widths. We messed with it rebuilding back up. And I've realized I'm just stronger, faster, more comfortable with close grip. We'll just keep building it. And I'll use the close grip and the incline work and everything to build my chest. And we just have to overdevelop the triceps and the delts. But I went ahead and I'm like, let me see where my strict press is. I could stand to work it back in. The seated presses are good and everything, but I do need to get some standing strict press in. It would be good to work on it. Okay. And a lot of people do point out, they're like, why do you not lock out? We've covered that for a very, 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 very long time on this channel. I can't. And it's my shoulders. It's not my elbows. I can, if I go with a really wide grip, I can lock out my elbows. Except my shoulders won't go in that position. And there's a lot of factors. And I've had people who claim to be physical therapists come through and give me advice. And I laugh because they give me advice that I've already done. You know, so it's kind of like people's advice doesn't work. And I actually do enormous amounts of mobility stuff for my shoulders. And I've been doing more rotator work and you know, my rear delt work and stuff. Trying to keep all that up. But I think what people need to note, in spite of all of that, a couple of years of it, nothing's changed. Okay, unless I do a really wide grip, that's it. It's where I can go to, and it doesn't matter. It's the empty bars. People say, "Well, the weight's too heavy." Well, I can't do it with just a broomstick. So the weight's not too heavy. I mean, if I can push, like I've done in the past, 225 to the exact same range of motion, I can push a stick. 225 is not too heavy. It's my range of motion. And I've done a lot of stuff, you know, working on it. And we'll continue to work on the rear delts and the rotators and whatever I have to do. But realistically, I don't predict it fixing, ever. Okay? And it just is what it is. So, we don't need to go through that again. We've discussed that hundreds of hours on this channel. Don't want to have to go through it again. I'm just going to go through it that one time now that we're back to doing the strict press. The 285 today felt good. And some people were like, well, where do we get the weight increases? We don't. I work off percentages. We work off percentages of our most recent max on any given variation. It's one reason I max so often and hit so many training maxes. We have a lot of lifts to work off of. If I always have fresh maxes and we always know what our maxes are, we know all of our calculations for effective reps. People get too hung up in progressive overload without understanding why they progressive overload. That's a big mistake. And my lifters will do that. I'll hand them the lifts at a certain percentage, and they're like, well, do I add weight? Why don't I add 2.5 pounds next time? I'm like, did your max go up? Well, you didn't add 5 pounds to your max. Why do you get to add 2.5 pounds to your rep work? It says 80%. It says 60%. It says 65%. Okay. We're getting a training effect. If we know how many total effective reps we're getting enough tension, enough workload, we're getting a training effect. Your maxes will go up when you get stronger. And when you get stronger, 85% of a heavier max is a bigger number, right? Not that complicated. It's complicated when you make it. When you think like a novice that I have to add weight no matter what every session. Well, see my little shoulder injury I went through? That's going to be your training for the rest of your life with that mindset. Get prepared for injury after injury after injury after injury until you're crippled. Because that is what your mindset is preparing you for. Novice programming works for novices. That's it. Doesn't work. Once you're done being a novice, you throw that shit away and you never do it again for the rest of your life, even if you detrain. That's it. It's a one-time deal. And we did our close grip incline. And these are tough with the close grip. That range of motion is ridiculous. I almost feel like I need to take these to medium grip. It's just so awkward with my long arms. So I might test a max on a medium grip, because that should give good carryover. It still works the upper chest and all that stuff I want to work. And I might need to do that, but I need a max to work off of. I'll think on it. I'll sit on it. But, it's kind of the stuff that I tell people to do. It's like I get people in the comment section, they don't listen to what I tell them. And then they're, I got this now injury and hurt. And I'm like, because you didn't do what I told you. I told you to sit back on the box squat. I didn't tell you to sit back as far as you think you can. I told you to sit back further. Right? That wasn't, didn't ask you how you felt. I told you what to do, and that's why I don't want people arguing in my channel. That's why I have no room for it. I'm coaching people all day long. That's what I do. I can't have people who stand there and argue, because it gets you hurt. It makes you regress. You snap stuff. You'll paralyze yourself because you're a goddamn idiot who doesn't know what they're doing. No, you don't squat 500 pounds. You can't coach anybody. Shut up. And people get upset when you say that. I'm not being a dick. I'm trying to keep you guys from getting hurt and from getting stalled and regressing. If you have only hit a 400 squat pound at any point in your life, you are not qualified to program the squat. Okay? Unless you're a woman. If you're a woman, you probably are. If you're a man, shut up. You have no business programming the squat, teaching people how to squat correctly, discussing programming accessory work. Unless you've been coaching tons and tons of high-level athletes for 20 years while not working out yourself. Okay? Just because people want to argue and discuss how they feel, they herniate a disc in their back. They snap something. Well, maybe you shouldn't have argued. You should have just shut up and listened when I tell you to do something. Okay? It's not subject to debate. Same thing I tell my lifters, and this is what I have to do all day long. So when people need to remember that on this channel, why would I treat the channel any different? Shut your goddamn mouth and you listen. Or I'm going to laugh at you when you get hurt, because it's deserved. I told you to do something, you didn't do what I told you to do, and now you're crippled yourself. Good. Maybe you'll goddamn listen next time. Right? And I know that sounds harsh. It sounds harsh, but it's the reality. That's why when you're putting information out, you can't have yahoos arguing with you who don't know what they're doing. As Louis Simmons says, your opinions are shit. Now, all that ranting in my lecture aside, let's get over to the training. Same thing, I went ahead and did some triples with these. They were pretty heavy, all things considered, because again, I'm just now getting used to doing this lift again. The 185 was a pretty hard training max, and I know for me that seems weak, and it is weak. We'll come back quick. We'll bounce back pretty fast. Just got to get in, train it, get the delt strength back, right? But as long as my triceps keep getting stronger, that close grip's going to go up. And JM press, we PR'd. Reminder for the people who come over and they're like, they think it's a partial bench. It's not. It's above my face. It's not above my chest. And I don't have the camera angles to show you that. Unfortunately, I have this rack set in a great position where I can film 90% of my lifts at a great angle. I have great workspace. I can't use the good camera without a fisheye lens and get to the side. I just can't do it. But you guys know how to perform a JM press. JM Blakely has shown you. He's taught you. You're lowering it like a mix between a skull crusher and a close grip press to above your neck or above your face, above your chin, right? That's what you're doing. We got 195 today. I managed to get 6 reps on the final set. It's going to be a 3x5. I wanted to kind of assess that last set. Triceps were lit. So we know tricep strength is coming along. Now, delts are going to be a big deal. Now, I will always probably be able to PR the close grip work if my triceps get stronger. We know the delts really have to come up, so we train them. That's why we're doing the incline. That's why we're doing the overhead press. We're going to put a lot of work into those. A lot of work into those. And I might not agree with everything Windler says. I don't agree with a lot of things Windler says about the deadlift. He says some pretty smart stuff about the bench. And, that's one of the things he's pointed out, is that particularly for people who are benching with a closer grip, right, which he actually is kind of a fan of as you get older. He's never seen anyone with a strong strict press who can't bench. It just carries over. Okay, fair enough, maybe with a closer grip. So we're going to keep working all that. And I need my whole upper chest. I need my shoulders to get bigger. That'll help, but we got to keep hammering the triceps too. Keep the triceps ahead. Okay, what you don't want to have is weak triceps. Okay, your delts to overpower them. So I need to keep the triceps ahead of the delts while really, 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 really pushing those delts. Again, this is one of the ways we prevent shoulder injuries on the bench. But I'm happy with those. Solid sets. Then we did chins. My grip was slipping on these. So for those curious of what, like on the last rep on the last 2 sets, like your was just dropping down. Yep, I am. Well, we run into the same range of motion here that we run into with the overhead press, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to do chins. In fact, I'm going to do chins. I'm going to cut even the rows out, I think, for a bit. I feel like right now the chins bring more to the table. I can do other stuff for my upper back so that I'm not beating my low back up further, because I'm going to be deadlifting twice a week now. Got to push the deadlift hard, get my deadlift back up. But my back has become a weak link because it detrained a bit. Get my lats strong, get my grip strong. It'll all catch up. This will work wonders. Just doing heavy, heavy chins. And this is 80 pounds for those curious. Did a quick 3x3. Obviously, I ramped up with body weight stuff first. But, the thing is, we are getting a lot of load, a lot of tension on the bicep, a lot on the lats. And my biceps can oftentimes be a weak link on these, which is one reason I'm doing the cheat curls. So people understand that it is being done as a supplemental lift to my chin-ups. But as these chin-ups get stronger, my deadlift will come back up. I've got to obviously start training my different deadlifts again. I hate doing sumo, but I do need to have a mix of sumo and conventional, because you guys remember before I trained sumo exclusively for like a year and walked in and just deadlifted 605. So the sumo does carry over for me. I'm always stronger. I'm always stronger at conventional. I'm built better to conventional. But, from a fatigue management perspective, overuse perspective, it's a good idea to do both. And I really don't want to. And I fight against the idea personally. And I benefit from it. And so then we do the cheat curls, but we get what we want out of the chins. No, I don't have the best range of motion due to my shoulder limitations. And mainly it's to keep me from getting hurt. I can go further down, it's just that it injures me. These will help bring my chins up. And then when my chins go up, my deadlift will increase, even if the grip is becoming a little bit of a limit. So some people would say, why is the grip limiting you? Well, that's a fatter bar up there. It's not the same size as a deadlift bar or Olympic bar. It's a little thicker. It's smooth, and I'm doing double underhand, and definitely that left fingertip starts to slip on those, especially, considering my body weight and then 80 pounds. I'm basically hanging 300 pounds. And the first rep is fine. It starts to accumulate. So it's good grip training on top of it. Also, keeping in mind, while I've been letting that low back recover a bit, I haven't done loaded carries for a week, and I need to get my farmer's watch back in. They are probably an important part of my grip training along with the chins right now. So I need to make sure that I keep those in, but I'm going to have to belt up for those. Again, just for low back fatigue. But happy with today's workout overall. I mean, I wish the strict press was a little stronger, but it's going to get stronger as I rebuild my shoulder girdle, rebuild my strength on it. It'll come back up. We'll be back at 225 pretty quick. I've done it before. We'll do it again. But good workout. Happy with everything else. Happy with the close grip today. Happy with the JM presses. So I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.